So today I've got what I believe is the funnest car that you can get from Europcar. It's the M240i, which you can see here. Now this one here is literally the 2020 model, so it's basically brand new. When I picked it up, it had about 23 kilometers on it, so brand spanking new. So let's go find out actually what this car looks at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you around the car first of all, and then we'll jump inside and we'll take a look at inside the car. Then we'll go for a drive as usual, and I'll tell you what I think of it. So looking at the outside of the BMW 240i, I think it's a really good looking car here. Now the only thing that takes a bit of the looks away is when the roof's on. That black soft top cover would look so much better with like a hard top cover on it. So if BMW for the next version could make a hard top cover for these, then I reckon that would look even better. So taking around the car, you can see it's got the 18-inch wheels with the Michelin Super Sports tyres on it. You can see it's got some nice big brake calipers there and big brake discs there, so some really nice brakes on there. Being the 2020 model, this has got now the black mirrors. The 2019 models had the silver mirrors on it, so it's one of the key differences between this and the 2019 models. So taking around your side here now, you can see that there's no big wheel arches like that on the M2, and the back's a bit understated there. Here you can see it's just got the dual exhaust compared to the M2's quad exhaust. It's got the M240 there, so you can start to see that this is something special potentially with it, something that's got a bit of performance to it. But that's really the only obvious part of the car that you can really, when looking at it, that you can see that there's something special about looking at this car. Now one of the other differences is the rear lights on the 2020 models are tinted slightly darker than that of the 2019 models. The side here, again, you can look, when you're looking at the side here compared to say an M2, it looks understated compared to it with no body kit or anything like that, or a very small body kit. So we'll have a look around take you around the front here now and have a look around the front. And then so you can see there it's got the nice BMW front there. Again, not much of a body kit at the front there, no fog lights or anything like that at the front there, so very much understated compared to the M2, but I think still a really attractive looking car there. So we've just come back around the side here and just have one more look there. And one of the other things I don't like is that area on the back there. I don't know, I know a lot of these convertibles do have those aerials, but I don't know, for me it just doesn't look great there. For some reason I just don't like it there. Before we jump inside the car to take a look, what I want to do is I'll just pop the bonnet. I'll just show you the engine here. Have a look at the engine. So we'll just open up here. You can see that's that straight 6 3-litre engine there. So this isn't the biggest 6 I've seen, but it's still a reasonable size. There's not much room remaining under here. You've got the turbo down the back there, you can't actually see there. You've got the air intake there, and then back to the engine there, the other side of the engine. Yeah, and so that's the engine. So we'll just close that up and let's take a look inside the car. So this has got the proximity key here, so you can touch anywhere and it will pop open as soon as you touch the car, as long as you've got the car keys in your pocket. So we're up in the cabin here. So you're just having a look there. What we'll do is just turn the engine on so you can see hear that nice bit of a growl there coming out of the engine there, the exhaust there, so it's got a nice sound there. So yeah, just the standard gauges there, and then obviously the temp and fuel empty. As you can see, I've done a few more Ks on this. It's now done for 511 Ks on it there. So you've got the standard looking sort of BMW screen there. It's a bit smaller than you get in say your 3 Series or your 5 Series, but still big enough, and you can see everything. You've got obviously the different options, media, and then your phone communication, navigation, your connected drive there, then a bit about your vehicle and some of the vehicle options there, and some notifications there. So everything that you sort of expect from that BMW iDrive system there. Having a look around, so it's very sort of BMW standard inside here. So you've got your climate control there, and then you've got a CD player there, the different buttons there. It's coming down there, you've got the cup holders there, you've got the gear stick, and then you've got the iDrive system there where you can control the front screen there. And then you've got this, it doesn't have an electric handbrake, it's got your standard handbrake there, so the standard pull-up handbrake there. Then looking around the cabin here, and you can see it's quite a nice cabin finish. It's got the Harman and Kardon speakers in there, and then you've got the nice seats with a nice stitching on the seats there as well. Steering wheel, you can see here, it's like really nice feel. It's not too big or anything like that. It's really basic here. Don't have too many options on the wheel, which is good. It's not confusing. So you've got your cruise control options there, and then you've got your volume buttons and phone buttons there as well to pick up the phone. And then you've got you can put all the windows down in this at once with this button here will put all the windows down for you, and you've got all your window switches there. This has got all electric seats and things like that. You've got your lane assist, and the front's also got the headlight switches there as well, and the rear fog light there. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll jump in the back now, and then I'll take you around the back of the car and see how much room's in the back there. So jumping in the back here, we've got an electric switch here where you can move it forward here a bit, and then you can just pull up the handle here and to get in the back there. So we'll hop in the back here and just push this seat back to what would be your normal sort of room as a driver. So you've actually got a reasonable amount of room in here. It wouldn't be the biggest amount of room, but you still can, as an adult, you could sit two in here reasonably comfortable. Probably not with the roof on. It's probably going to get a bit uncomfortable here for longer trips and things like that. It's only a 4-seater this, so in the fifth seat does not exist. So in the center here, you've got things like you can put phones or whatever you want in there. You've got the two speakers you can see there, and you've got the air conditioning in the back here as well. So obviously not much here to sort of talk about. Yeah, so that's the back of the BMW. So what we'll do is we'll jump out and we'll take you into the boot area, and I'll show you how much room is in there with the roof down. So we'll just take a look at the boot size here. So if you can see, having a look in there, you can see there's not a huge amount of room. You could fit maybe one big suitcase in there or two small suitcases in there. If we have a look, you've got a few little storage pockets there to put things in, and on this side, same thing there. And you've got, right there, you can open the rear seat. So we'll have a look there and show you how much extra room that will give you in the back there. So we'll pull those down, and then you can see if you've got something long, maybe some golf clubs or something like that, you could probably be able to squeeze them in the back there if you've got no one in the rear seats there. So what we'll do is we'll put this back up again, and we'll just go back to the back boot again. This is where the roof is stored in here, so you've got to fold that down and the roof is stored in there. If you've got the roof up, you can push this back up and it gives you a bit more height. Try and fit that bigger suitcase or something like that in there. So yeah, that's the boot there. You've got the battery and things like that in there, so you've just got a puncture kit. You don't even actually have a spare tire or anything in there, so that's just a puncture kit there if you do get a puncture. So we'll just close the boot back up. Just have one more look at the back there. Right, so what we'll do now is we'll jump in the car and find out what it's like to actually drive it. So inside the BMW 240i now, and it's really a really nice place to be inside this cabin here. So the cabin, I took you around it before and showed you the inside of it, but it is a really nice cabin here. So look, driving it, what we'll do, I'm just reversing that. So you'll see the reverse camera. It's got the reverse camera there. So that's fairly standard in these sort of European cars. Pretty much any car these days is getting that reverse camera in the car there. So how is it to drive the BMW? I really like driving. I think it's a really nice car to drive. It's surprisingly smooth. It's got the low profile tires on it, but it is surprisingly smooth. So it rides really, really well over like even big potholes and things like that. It rides really well over. The handling, I really, really like the handling in this car as well. I think it just really holds the road and grips in the road really quite well there. Just sticks to the road, no lean. It's obviously a small car, so that obviously helps it, and it's obviously not too heavy, so that helps it as well, but handling's great. Now, one of my most favorite things in this car is the performance of the engine. So this car does 0 to 100 in about 4.6 seconds. As I said before, it's got the straight 6 3-litre turbo in, which really is a great engine. And what we'll do as soon as when I have a bit of space, I'll sort of give you an indication of the sound of the car and you'll see how quick it goes, sort of thing. Looking around the cabin, this one's got 4 different modes. So you've got an eco mode here for when you're trying to save fuel. You've got the comfort mode, which is sort of the everyday mode that you'd be in, and you've also got a sports, and then there's a sports plus, which turns off most of the traction control assist in the car and really obviously allows the car to rev out. And I'll actually start putting in the sports plus now for you, so we can get ready to sort of show you sort of what the car's like and the acceleration's like. So what it does when you put in Sports Plus, and then you can hear it, just the engine sounds, you can hear the engine sound a lot more louder. You get a lot more crackling out of the exhaust there. Just that makes it sound a lot more sporty and things like that. Like when you're slowing down, I think it's try see if it does it now. Just back, you hear the gears like back shifting itself a bit more there. You can't really hear the crackling at the moment there. This one's got, as you would expect with a sports car, it's got Tiptronic here. So we'll just show you a bit of the acceleration now. I've got a bit of room here, so just like you see, really like it does feel really quick, and it's a fun car to drive there. A very fun car to drive. Steering wheel feels really nice. It's a good size here. The sound system, I mentioned before, it's got the Harman & Kardon speakers in there. It's really good quality sound system. So definitely no complaints about the sound system there. I always have to say, this is my favorite car that you can get at the moment, in my opinion, from Europcar. I think it's, it ticks all the boxes. As I said at the start, it's fun, it's fast, it looks great. And being a convertible, it's something a bit different as well. You can obviously take the roof down. We've got the roof up at the moment, just because it'd be a bit noisy with the roof down. But yeah, I really do like this car. So as I said, the engine in here is actually the exact same engine as the M2. It's tuned slightly different, so it's got more torque than the M2. This has got 500 Nm of torque, where the M2's only got around 480. But this has got less kilowatts, so this has only got about 250 kilowatts, where the M2's got 275 kilowatts, and the M2's a bit quicker. It's about 4.3 to 100. I think the competition's a tiny bit quicker again, 4.2, the M2 competition there. So in general, what do I think about the car? As I just said before, I really like it, and sort of the only gripe about this car would be the size of the petrol tank. The petrol tank's only about 55 litres, and I did most of my driving on the highway. Yes, I've at times been a bit heavy on the accelerator, but what I found is like I was only able to get about 500 kilometers out of a tank, and most of that 500 kilometers was on the highway. So I would expect a bit more fuel efficiency out of it, or at least put a bigger fuel tank in it, maybe a 65 litres fuel tank in it, just so you get more range and things like that. Because it's just, that's one of the only downsides of this car, I would say, would just be the fuel tank in there. And obviously its competitors now, they all have an all-wheel drive. So I know BMW are very shortly going to bring out this version. It has they'll call it an X-Drive, which will be all-wheel drive, but this one's still rear-wheel drive. So as I said, it still handles amazing, but when you're looking at some of the competitors around, they're all now all-wheel drives and full-wheel drive. So that might turn some people off, where they think, a bit more safer having an all-wheel drive car. But as I said, handling wise, it handles just as well as an all-wheel drive car, so it doesn't make any difference at all. Yeah, so just to sum up, as I said, really good car to drive, barely any gripes about it, and I love hiring this car. I've hired it now 3 different times from Europcar, just because it's so much fun to drive and things like that. So would I buy this car? I would say definitely I would. There's nothing that would stop me from buying this car, and I think it's a really good car. So if you did buy it, I guarantee you would not be disappointed. So yeah, thanks for watching today, and I hope that you all enjoyed the video today.